There's something unnatural about silence in an elevator. The sterile lighting, the mechanical sighs, the static hum of a machine that has only one job: to take people up and bring them back down. But what happens when someone gets in and never comes back? This is not a ghost story. It's not a work of fiction. It's what happened in Los Angeles, in a building that should never have been trusted with someone so young, so fragile, so alone. This is Room 412, the girl who never checked out. And this is the quiet room. A grainy CCTV recording from inside a dimly lit elevator. The date reads January 31st, 2013. The girl on screen is small, dressed in a red hoodie, black shorts, and slip-ons. She steps in quickly, presses multiple floor buttons at once, but the doors do not close. She hesitates, peeking out. Left, then right. Then she hides. She presses herself against the corner. She moves her hands in slow, unsettling gestures, almost like she's speaking to someone unseen. And still, the elevator remains open, waiting, watching. For nearly 4 minutes, she moves in and out of frame like a shadow, before disappearing altogether. The doors close, and Elisa Lam is never seen alive again. Elisa, a 21-year-old Canadian student, had been traveling alone through California, documenting her solo adventure on Tumblr. She was vibrant, articulate, and mentally unwell. Diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, Elisa was known for being open about her struggles. Her posts were thoughtful, sometimes poetic, sometimes manic, and always searching for meaning, for identity, for peace in a mind that wouldn't always sit still. She checked into the Cecil Hotel, one of the cheapest stays in downtown Los Angeles. But cheap has its cost. The Cecil Hotel was a place history had forgotten to bury. Home to suicides, murders. 2 infamous serial killers had stayed there: Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, and Jack Unterweger, who strangled women with their own bras. Guests had leapt from windows. Others had died mysteriously in rooms no one wanted to stay in twice. The hotel was rot-dressed in fresh paint. Darkness with a lobby. And somewhere within that towering monument to decay, Elisa Lam vanished. For 19 days, she was missing. Her family begged for answers. Police combed every floor, even brought in dogs. Nothing. Until the hotel guests began to complain. Their water tasted strange. The pressure was low. And sometimes it came out black. On February 19th, maintenance staff climbed to the roof and opened one of the 4 cylindrical water tanks. Floating inside, naked, face down, was Elisa Lam. Her clothes were nearby. Her cell phone was never found. The question wasn't just how she got there. The real question was, why didn't anyone hear her? The rooftop was allegedly locked, the tank was tall and heavy to lift, and security cameras somehow missed everything after that elevator video. The official autopsy released by the Los Angeles County coroner stated that Elisa Lam died by accidental drowning, with no signs of physical trauma, sexual assault, or foul play. Her clothes floating nearby, the red hoodie, shorts, underwear, and watch, soaked and waterlogged, as though trying to speak of what they had witnessed. There were no alcohol or illicit substances in her blood, but the report did note incomplete adherence to her prescribed medications for bipolar disorder. Her lungs were heavy with fluid. Her fingernails had a subtle bluish tint, classic signs of drowning, but there were no bruises, no lacerations, no defensive wounds. Only the quiet, still silence of someone who had slipped beneath the surface and never come back up. But how does a woman climb into a sealed, elevated water tank by herself, without a ladder, and drown without anyone noticing? Some said she had a psychotic break. Some believed she was playing the elevator game, a Korean urban legend that promises access to a parallel world if you ride an elevator in a specific pattern. Others believed she was murdered, that the video had been edited, that someone was there, behind the camera's blind spot. And some still believe that the Cecil Hotel itself, with all its death and history and darkness, had finally claimed another soul. The most disturbing detail? In Elisa's last Tumblr post, dated the day before she vanished, she wrote, "I have arrived in LA. I am tired but excited. I want to see everything." But what she saw was a door that closed without warning, a city that swallowed her without a sound, and a silence so thick it filled the pipes of a hotel. Elisa Lam didn't just vanish. She became a myth inside a tragedy, a face seen more in gifs than in grief. People obsessed over her video, analyzed every twitch, every button press. Theories spread like mold, some born of curiosity, others of cruelty. But the truth may be simpler and sadder. Elisa wasn't running from demons. She was drowning in a world that had no space for fragility, no understanding for mental health, no safety net when the mind collapses quietly. But in the end, a girl slipped beneath the surface of water meant for others to drink. And she was only found because people started to taste her absence. That's how loud silence can become. That's how haunting neglect can be. Not all horror is about screams. Sometimes it's about who never screamed at all. This was the quiet room. Room 412. The girl who never checked out. Shut the door. Kill the light. And remember, some echoes don't fade. Some silences drown you slowly.